Hmm. I was getting ready to dance. What's going on? What's up, y'all? This is Political Short. I'm Lamar, and we have a good show for y'all tonight. We're going to talk about a few things, and I have a guest, and I may have another one that pops on as well. So I may have a couple of guests on with me, or I'll call them co-hosts, on with me tonight. And we're going to go ahead and just jump into it and talk about a few things. Let's bring my co-host on. You've seen it before. How you doing?
Sup, peeps? Sup?
Devin. Devin is from uh ladies POV, ladies point of view. So you've seen her. Y'all know her. Y'all know
Hot girls, the hot girls.
her. so, she, so she's no stranger. Uh she's on to help me talk about some of these topics tonight. We're gonna chat for a little bit, about 30 minutes, and we're gonna get out of here. And let's go and get to it. What we got, Miss Producer? What we talking about tonight? What we talking about? George Floyd. Okay, so this will be a quick, easy one. So there's a George Floyd Act that's being proposed or passed actually through the House, and I'm gonna pull up my notes here. I'm actually all for it. Have you heard about it? I'm gonna talk a little about it and just tell you what it is all about.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard about it when it popped up.
So most of the stuff that is in this act that was passed is good stuff, stuff that we've asked for, that stuff that most people would think is common sense stuff, like making it prohibiting no knock warrants and forcing people to do anti-discrimination classes or what have you,
Yeah.
uh, forcing body cams and dash cams, stuff that you would think is common sense, that
Mhm.
you would keep people safe, right? But I think we know already. I mean, we know what's going to happen when we get to the Senate. Now, in the House, it was a party line vote. Democrats voted one way, Republicans voted another way, which is really bothersome to me. Being an independent, side for common sense situations, common sense issues. So when we get to the Senate, there's going to be a problem because Democrats are going to have to convince 10 Republicans to change their mind to get this thing pushed through. Do you think that's going to happen?
Mm-mm. Now, from what I was researching, I think only one Republican even uh, agreed or didn't veto or wasn't anti the bill, which I'm not shocked because this whole issue has been a Republican versus Democrat almost issue.
Yeah.
So I feel like even if Republicans kind of agreed with the situation, they would feel, like they're obligated.
It's almost like we're at war. I
It is.
really feel like it's like we're at war with, well, I won't say we. It's like they're at war. Well, kind of like we, because common sense versus non-common sense versus idiocy, I think is what it is. And again, I'm not even a Democrat, but the way the Republicans are acting right now is really just kind of not in the best interest of the public, in my opinion. They're not doing anything for their constituents. It's all just politics, and it's dirty politics, and we all have to freaking suffer for it at the same time. So I think it kind of sucks. Um, Talking about Republicans, I'm gonna smooth past that one, and we're gonna travel to Texas, where our governor has taken it upon himself to remove the mandate. It's coming up, removing the mandate on masks. Before I give my opinion on this, which you probably know what it is, what are your thoughts on? Is that a smart thing to do?
Well, I've actually been vaccinated. I feel a little bit more safe because of it, because the particular vaccination that I took has like a 98% efficacy against the COVID virus. However, I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, especially a lot of Black people,
Mm-hmm.
who are not wanting to get the vaccination because you don't believe it's going to work or you don't know what's in it, it's too new. And some people believe, the CDC still says you should have all the same precautions with it. So what's the point? So I think it's just way too soon, especially being a nurse at the hospital. And I'm still seeing a lot of COVID cases, some ending very badly.
Mm-hmm. So
I think that the
people
mask
still
mandate,
falling from this.
huh?
So people are still falling.
People are very young and still succumbing to this virus. So I think it's something that eventually, yeah, it was going to happen, but I think they should have waited to a certain percentage of the cases were, being out there. Like they should have said when we get below 10,000.
Right. And I don't think they looked at any. I don't think he looked at any data. Hey Tim, hey Kendrick. I don't think he looked at any. Doesn't seem like he did. It seems like it's again political. Like what?
I'm wondering what it was. I don't know a lot about it. I watched when it was passed, as far as like news stations and things like that, but I've never seen anything and really hadn't researched why he thought that Wednesday was the day and the time to
Right.
lift this mask mandate. Like, what data
Are
is
you
that
looking
based
at?
on? Other than capitalism, other than businesses losing money and things like that. Other than that,
And I'm a capitalist. However, common sense. What's up, Shahana? But common sense you would think would come in somewhere. This is what he said. It says Texas Governor Greg Abbott is opening up about his decision to end the state mask mandate, stressing that he's still urging residents to take precautions, but Texans no longer need government running our lives. This is where I get bothered that he has the audacity to use terms such as these. Running.
I think he's trying. I think he's trying to become the new Trump. Trump was really rebellious and he was anti everything right. He was anti everything common sense. He was anti everything that allowed you to use, any of your brain. And I feel like that this is what he's doing. But I think that if he is lifting the mask mandate, he should be the first one to go with, and he ain't in the best health. He should
he rolling the stupid stuff around in a wheelchair.
He should be the first one to go into an extremely populated area with no mask on, and he should just go hug everybody to prove that he thinks it's safe to lift this mandate. He can roll through. He need to roll through a crowd, a bunch of people coughing, and come out on the side and say he good, and then I'm good.
He makes me sick. I can't stand him. I can't stand Greg Abbott. Like, it's stupid. So what's going to happen? And this is my prediction. And I hope it don't. But my prediction is that people are going to take advantage of this stupidity, and people are going to start getting sick because what percent? Is it even 10% of Texans that are taking the vaccine? It's like everybody not taking this thing. People still scared. People still trying to wait.
It's not even offered to everybody yet.
Right. I can't. If I wanted to get it right now, I can't probably. So, right. So it's like people are about to get sick again. Stupid.
And I think he made a dumb statement like, we're going to roll out the vaccine, make it available to everybody. I said, you about stupid. Because even if you roll it out after you lift the mandate, they're still not vaccinated. And they get one vaccination and then they have to wait a few weeks to get another one. So by then, everybody got the 19. So that's what he mean by vaccination. You're going to get it the natural way.
So how many people he wants to die before he wake up? I don't think
he cares, as long as it don't hurt his pocketbook.
Oh, I wonder when is his. I need to figure out when his election come up so we can get rid of him. He's stupid. Beto probably gonna be trying to run for all. He might have a chance. He might try to run for governor.
Who is?
Beto. I think.
I like him. I actually voted for him, and he hurt my feelings. But it is what it is. He was too much of a nice guy. They don't like him nice. They need you to cuss folks out and talk about their mama and stuff. And that's how you get in there. So I'm gonna need him to learn how to act a fool. Once or twice, call somebody stupid.
He got little round bunches. He move around and stuff fast, like he high on something.
Biden Alzheimer's having self. I heard him call one of them a Neanderthal. He needs to get like Biden.
I'm gonna say this about Biden. I know that Biden is not on the topic list today, but I got to say something about Biden. I want to ask everybody that's watching. We got to talk, man. What are your thoughts on how Biden has done thus far? My answer to that is I don't know, because I don't know. It's hard to. I hadn't been as excited about politics with him. It's kind of boring, which is fine. I feel safer, but it's boring. It ain't as exciting as it was to me when him in there. But I can't stand to hear him talk. It just makes me fall asleep. Like, what is he talking about? And then he's using all these old words, like, dude, Neanderthal. Like, what? What are you talking about?
He make me miss when I worked at the nursing home. That's how I feel when I see Biden. He looked like he reminded me of one of my dementia patients, where you got to kind of lead him and kind of hold his hand and say, "Don't do that, Mr. Biden." Biden.
I think he possibly has it. I know people won't say it. I think he had early on said something.
He might.
I think he do.
He might. Kamala, she'll have it. I think I give him 2 years, and then she'll have to finish out the term. But I don't see anything he's done thus far, other than make some promises that we haven't seen yet. So
there we go. I'm not excited about him. And you know what? And I was the biggest Kamala fan, but something about Kamala when she talks in these interviews, Don, it's like I need her to get some. I need her to get some black woman spirit. She when she get in these interviews, she have her Indian. She her Indian side. She not her black woman side, right? And what I mean by that is she's talking in circles. She's almost like she's scared and she's not being like. My thing is you won. Can't anybody take the position away from you now unless you get impeached or something like that. But you got it. You ain't got to play all this politics, spinning and all that kind of stuff. Just be straight and answer. She won't answer no questions about nothing. I'm like, can you just be honest? You ain't got to spin no more. So she's been driving me nuts.
She's just not that girl. I was a Kamala fan, and then she started acting a fool, and then I wasn't a Kamala fan. And then when this came up, I was a fan of her again, by default, because she's one of us. Let me just be true. And now I'm like, she wants to be liked too much, and she's afraid to do the wrong thing. And she's afraid to ruffle feathers, and she wants to keep both. She don't want to push any side of way. She doesn't want any side against her, so she's gonna try to stay neutral with everything, and that gets on my nerves. Like sometimes you gotta pick a side.
Yeah, just be honest with who you are and how you feel, like you are on the Senate floor when you interrogating people and during the Senate session. She go off on folks. She talk crazy to people. She's scared to bring that out as vice.
And I think if she showed some of that, I ain't got time for that black woman. I think it would appeal to some people because then they would feel more protected by her because she ain't gonna play. I think that would help her more than hurt.
Tom says she thinks it's too soon for Biden. Yeah. It's still early. I'm just.
I totally agree. But I'm gonna need my 10 grand for my student loan.
And I'm still bothered the fact that he ain't gonna fight for more. I understand what he said. I understand. He said he don't think he has the ability. But whatever. I don't believe none of that no more after Trump. You got the ability to do anything you want. I feel like you do. All this BS about you don't know if you have the authority to do it, but yet you got the authority to strike Syria. Yeah, you got the authority. I don't blow smoke up our tail. So whatever. Looks like let me see. We got another guest pilot coming up in a minute.
Okay.
I think I saw them pop. Oh no, they're not in. Okay, yeah. Tam said we gotten used to Uncle Ruckus. To the ruckus under Trump's reign. Yeah, I did. I got used to the reality show. You see, Biden is Days of Our Lives. Biden is General Hospital. Give me another one. Biden is Dynasty. One life to live. Now Trump is Housewives of Atlanta.
No, Trump loves hip hop.
Right, there we go.
Trump is Bad Girls Club.
Right.
Temptation Island.
Right, yeah. So it's all together different. One's kind of exciting, and the other one, it's exciting, but it's deep. You got to really pay attention, So,
Biden's story already written. You know what he gonna say before he said. It's like it's all in there. Like Trump's straight loving hip hop. You don't know what he gonna say. You be like, what?
We wake up in the morning, we don't know what he done tweeted, what he done said. You just don't know who's gonna jump over a table. You don't know who mad at who. You don't know. With Biden, it's straight up presidential calm, who just we never see him. Okay.
Anyway. We say we wanted, but now we bored. So there you go.
I'm bored as crap. What else we got, Miss Producer? All right, here we go. Speaking of loving hip hop in Atlanta, T.I. and Tiny, and I want to read the words specifically from this album. Rapper T.I. and Tiny. I wish I could find my microphone. I done lost it. I don't know what I did with my mic. Okay, rapper T.I. and Tiny have been accused of drugging and sexually assaulting multiple people. According to a lawyer who is now calling for criminal investigations into the allegations, the alleged incidents took place in several states between 2005 and 2018. Somebody even alleged that they what's that white girl that he got started?
Iggy.
Iggy, that he forced Iggy into having sex with his wife and some other women. And I gotta say, I believe all of it. I believe every bit of it. You got over a dozen women now coming out and saying that T.I. and Tiny have slipped them Bill Cosby Mickeys and forced them into a cunnilingus and a little fellatio, a little horizontal poker with both of them and with other women. I believe every bit of it. What do you think?
I don't know. I guess I may have a little bit of an unpopular opinion. I believe all of it. I definitely believe that there was a lot of sex, drugs, and rock and roll
Mm-hmm.
happening. However, I believe that a lot of women saw that it was Ti and Tiny, and they were in this groupie mode.
Mm-hmm. I can
You
see
know what
that.
I'm saying? And a lot of them probably agreed to do certain things because it was Ti and Tiny, and maybe they didn't know to the extent that it was going to happen. And I definitely think Ti is a criminal who can't string
Yep.
two words together. He put whole big words together, and people think he know what he's talking about, but he don't. I'm gonna need y'all to get the dictionary and see that
Prasad.
he has no
Hey,
clue. So I think, hey, how you doing? I think Ti is definitely a criminal. So I think he probably made these women think it was one thing that he was going to be they were going to be hanging out with him and Tiny, and get that celebrity whatever. And then I think they did him dirty, and I think I do. So I believe it. I definitely think when there's some smoke, there's some fire. But I think there's a bigger story.
next thing you know, they face down, ass up. What's going on, Lisa B?
Hey, sorry I was experiencing some serious major technical difficulty,
It's all
but
good.
somehow we made it through and I'm here and I'm happy to see both of you. Thank you for having me
Happy to
tonight.
see you. This is your first time actually on camera on the show, but you one of our most popular viewers of the show. So everybody probably know you anyway. They just don't know what you look like.
No, well, here I am. Hello.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, and you came in on the perfect time. What's your thoughts on this whole Ti Tiny thing? You think there's something to it?
Well, I know they're a very interesting couple. I'll give them that. They're very wild with each other and without each other, and they explore a lot. And sometimes in exploring tends to get people in trouble. Uh, Especially when you're in public and you want to, explore your whatever it is that you're choosing to do together.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I, I think it's like when you think of celebrities. When I think of celebrities, let's think of Ti actually and Tiny, but Ti first.
Hmm.
Where he came from, who he is, as you said, Devin, criminal, all the stuff he's done. Now give a person like that millions of dollars and access
And a
and
dictionary.
power and what
And a dictionary that he can't use.
and a dictionary. I think a person like that is prone to do anything. I mean, it's like a godlike complex. So, whoa, there we go.
Hey, Tam.
Thank you so much, Tam.
Woo!
I can't move. I need my microphone. I need to.
All right.
Where my
I
mic?
got one here. Thank you, Tam. Thank you, Tam. Thank you. Right on.
I love it.
You're awesome.
I
I get to
appreciate
put my
it.
mic on the phone.
Don't see y'all kind of get y'all R. Kelly vibes, except he can read.
Oh,
Meaning he takes advantage of women. He bring them in and probably make them feel a little special. And then they think they're going to come in and give them a little kiss and a hug. Next thing you know, they on their head and wrapped up tight and all that extra stuff. And they didn't know what was happening. I mean, other than, I don't think they're underage. Girl, I don't know. I haven't heard all of that. But I don't know if the women are underage. But I mean, meaning the bringing the women in by smoozing them because of a celebrity. And then taking advantage of the situation. And I think Tiny is a full-fledged freak that get down. And she like to drop it low and spread it wide. And so she's right there.
That's a phrase.
Freak ass, bad built ass. I don't know why she paid for that. She need a refund. Instead of doing all that stuff to them girls, she need to go to Dr. Miami and get a refund.
You ain't lying. And I think there's an insecurity there. Like, I think there's definitely insecurities with Tiny. So she's probably willing to do anything T.I. wants. If you ever watched their reality show, he's a big time misogynist. Like the way he talked to her, the way he treat her, and Like, geez, dude. See, so I believe every freaking bit, and I think they about to go to jail because, I mean, just like with the Bill Cosby thing. I know a lot of people still feel a way about Bill Cosby because of his age, and they think it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, you got dozens of folks coming out now.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It's the
Well,
culture.
I think there's just too much yes and excess, and it's happening on a level that doesn't even require celebrity anymore. Like literally, you can become famous overnight just over having a certain amount of followers.
Doing this.
And I'm seeing a lot of that just happen across the board. So what used to be in old Hollywood kept in the dark is now all in the light because everybody's got a light and a camera and a story. And it used to take us back in the 90s, and this is going to date me just a little bit, but back in the 90s, it used to take information a while because all we had were pagers, right? Or am I just the only one that had a pager?
Girl,
You guys are too young, right? Oh, Lord. I'm like, and you're like, crickets. Yeah,
No, my
pagers,
thing,
and
my
the
signal faded
Inquirer.
on me.
Oh, okay. And the Inquirer, and so we didn't have as quick and fast media as we're having right now, where people can share their stories at such a rapid pace, and we don't have a chance to really vet whether all those stories are true or not.
Right.
It's just what it is, and there you go.
And that's going to be their problem, is proving what is true. Like, I don't know how proving that entails. Because
Mhm.
can I just, as Devin, call the lawyer and be like, yeah, they did it to me too. I need 15,000. Like, I mean, so do they just go by your word, or what does proving it entail? Like, because the one girl who supposedly does have proof, she was also on social media talking about, that's my son's uncle, and she was, doing the freakum dance with all of them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was licking on everybody in the room, like cross the room, please.
Everybody eating on each other.
They all were nasty, and now she's mad at them, and she initiated this, which I like because it created a voice for a lot of the women who maybe didn't have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the ones who may have proof may be the ones like her, who there's all this other evidence where she's saying.
And the worst thing is that she can't even, say, well, I know how he looks naked, because you can just Google T.I. and he's all out there. So
really? You can see that on the internet. People look at that. Girl, please.
It's out there. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's out there. What you need to so that part is just kind of out the door. So you're gonna need more proof than that. Yeah. Like, I've been inside your home, not just Cribs version, but like you can know the details of where you were. You literally, and I'm not trying to give a playbook to somebody trying to like, okay, let me fabricate a story, but you need to have documentation. What were you doing? What did you see? What was, and where exactly was this and that? Specific detail that the average person who is not a blogger or a, what do you call it, the YouTube gossip columnist. Yeah. Okay, I'm still talking with my dated. Okay, but you get what I'm saying. So the point is, yeah, that basically you're gonna have to say something beyond what is already the common knowledge.
Right.
And there's still ways of doing that, and that would essentially prove that you were there.
I think she kind of knows all of it. The friend, she know everything that's going on, and there's other people that have said things that are in their inner circle that knows that about a lot of this stuff too. But some of them being hush mouth, some of them not. So right. I think it's all gonna come out, and it's gonna be quite ugly. I think the hard part about all this is they have kids that are of age that hear this stuff, see it in the blogs, and so I wonder what questions they're asking mama and daddy.
They don't care about that though. See, that's what we have to get back to, is because let's and not to start a different topic, but I'm just saying, just for example, examples like Cardi B and whoever else who's the one that's the WAP maker, the other girl.
What's her name? I forgot her name.
Listen, yes, as you can tell, I don't really listen to too much of the current music, but I'm just saying that I know their presence in the music industry based on what they've created, and the content they create is not something that you would share with the child outright. typically most of the content that I've seen, where they're putting their, I don't know what I can say on here, but I'm just going to say that their bodies are more exposed than what they used to, more risque versus what we used to have, like in Vogue back in the day with their I'm just saying the examples that we have, that the parents, if you're already putting it yourself out there like that, and you have to keep going to the extremes because of the level of right on, Brittany.
Thank you
Right
so much.
on.
Brittany, we sure appreciate it. Thank you for the $20. We go get us a couple of hamburgers with that at Whataburger. Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box, we all gonna get one. Whataburger kind of high, so we're gonna.
I agree.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if you're willing to continue with the different levels that we already see, because it looks to me like dressing like a stripper, doing stripper things, doing things that used to be in the dark for some people, they didn't always put it all out there. Now the celebrities have to match not the YouTube, but the people, the Instagram people, they're putting it all out there to try to continue with likes, because exposure now matters.
Party started. I'm sorry. The party is getting started. Thank you, Shavana.
Thank
you
you
very much.
Yay.
I love this part of the show when people start being a blessing before God and blessing our pocketbooks.
It's ladies' night.
Right on.
Tiny actually, as far as her look, she wears tight clothing and things like that, but I've never seen her dressed like a Cardi B or whatever. But just that her ass, it take 10 minutes after she arrived in the room for her ass to make it there.
Like an ant.
That's enough. She don't have to be naked. That alone
it's ridiculous. It looks a mess.
Is enough. If your ass need its own invitation to the party,
right?
That's a problem.
So we talked about kids. Let's transition into we have a topic about kids here that we're gonna transition to real fast. Mm-hmm. So we got a little situation in Plano, Texas. Here and so basically, did y'all see this?
No,
y'all know about this? So basically, it's about bullying. Basically, I just want to touch on it short because it pisses me off thinking about it. Actually, I couldn't even watch the video because I got upset. So some little white boys, I think they 10-year-old kids, forcing a little black boy to drink some piss.
What?
At a sleepover. And I'm lost for words. Like, what do we do to protect our kids from stupid stuff like that? First of all, I don't understand why they have sleepovers. I'm not sure if the date was right now, but I don't understand why they have sleepovers right now during COVID anyway. But how do we protect our kids from stupid stuff like this?
Well, where were the parents? Let's start with that. How were they able to go that far with their prank on this child? It literally sounds like they were not being supervised, and things got carried far away. It's not even, I don't even know if carried away is even, it's too light of a word,
Like definitely bullying, hazing, they laughing. I think they said it was some racial stuff that kids said. I didn't hear that part, but they said it was, and they basically
were his friends.
So I guess so. He's over there. It don't seem like it.
They were pseudo friends. I live in Plano, and I didn't even realize that this was happening around the corner from me. Literally around the corner, right? And it made me sad. It kind of broke my heart a little bit that they kind of picked on the little boy, and they were protesting. A lot of the parents, about the anti-bullying. But one of my questions is: are kids not afraid of their parents no more?
They don't seem like it.
My kids was 10 years old. In my thought process, one of the first things they would have thought, if I do this, my mama gonna whoop my ass, because I would, right? But I also feel like I didn't show my children the example that it's okay to be that mean. Now, at any age, I think people can say they dealt with bullying. I could say I dealt with it as a kid, but one of the great things I had on my side is there was no social media to be, for the bullying to continue. Because I know for this particular little boy, the bullying continued. I don't know what the punishment needs to be, because I know this little boy was 13. I'm not sure how old the children were, and I know the bullying continued after that because the urine thing made it to Facebook or something. So then the bullying continued, and the football players were like hitting him with a belt.
What?
Yeah, the football players would hit him with a
That
belt.
pisses me off.
They would just every day at school they would just do mean things to him, and the mom would come to the school, and she was black, and she looked like she was black, but I don't know if she was black, because she kept continuously coming to the school and complaining, but nothing was ever done. I know the news media eventually got involved, but if my son told me, "Hey, little Marcus picks on me every day," where Marcus live? Show me where Marcus stay. We're gonna go talk to Marcus' mama. Look here, little boy. If you and I've done it before, I'm not ashamed to say. In my back in the day, my son got and I would go to this little kid. If you do this to my son one more time, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And your mama right there watching me. I will whoop your ass in front of these teachers and everybody if you ever do it again. So now he found somebody else to pick on, but I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna, because if and the teacher, I told her, because it was like an after school program. You know, her, I've been telling you this. This is my third time telling you this, and you haven't done anything. So I'm gonna stand here till his mama pull up to pick him up, and I'm gonna tell him in front of her that I'm gonna whoop your ass. And
right on.
And she was like, "You don't understand, and I would never talk to your son like that, ma'am. You wouldn't have to, because I would have already whooped his ass." You know, I think he was calling him like the N-word and pushing him, and I don't know. And I don't know why he didn't knock him out like I told him to, but it is what he was like, because the teacher told me if I hit him, then
what?
The day of reason or something dumb. So I took care of it and we fixed it, but eventually he just got kicked out of the school, because then I think it got other parents and stuff to start complaining. But it's like, what do you do about it? What's the solution for the book?
I work with children. And first thing that like you were saying, it starts with the school, and the thing is that it is so important to make sure that you do everything you can to be involved with culture sensitivity. A lot of these schools are still very archaic in the way that they run things. It sounds like it's also partly maybe community problem within the community, the people that are there, you know, and it's good for parents to really, and this is a hard time to do it right now, especially with COVID. And like one of you guys just said, you know, what were they doing getting together anyway during this time? But knowing, because it used to be before you even ever let your child set foot into another person's home, you knew who those parents were.
Absolutely.
Like 100%. You had the feeling, the same way that you say with another person that we're evenly yoked. Well, same is that you put the people in that you're putting your child in the care of, because he was still in care of the other parents, regardless of whether he's with his friends. They're not giving him to his friends. They're giving him to the family to go ahead and, you know, my son wants to come over for a good time. Your children are expressing that they want to hang out together. And yeah, with teenagers, it becomes less of a, you guys should stay out. It used to be, as you get older, the less time you stay out, because there's more potential for doing crazy things. It should have probably been monitored, and then everybody go home, that kind of a solution. But definitely, if there was a problem already going on within the school, it's very important for all parents involved to try to do their best to become activists for the students of the school, whether it's one child or it's a budding situation. I know that in my school right now, we're trying to work on making people feel that are from all backgrounds feel like valued, because it's not just the parents that have money, it's the parents that don't, the ones that are in between, the ones that feel less heard, the ones that don't have normally a voice because they don't speak the language, or they have a hard time communicating, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we're trying to reach out and change things around, you know, in my area. But this is something that should be not only pursued, but demanded by the parents in the community from all backgrounds, to make sure, because it doesn't matter. It's your child. You know what I mean? If we treated everybody's child like they were your child, and hopefully that means that that love that you have for your own child, we care and respect and teach them that, and teach them that, you know what, we want to have a community where we support each other and we treat each other all with respect. You don't have to like a person, but you don't have to disrespect them and just leave them alone. You know, the it's all the environment, and I think that a lot of the time the what children are exposed to, what they're seeing now in media, where they're seeing a lack of sensitivity, you know, there has to be people that, you know, care, you know, in the areas where they can make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough being kids these days with the social media and all this.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough thing, however. All right. I think that was all we had, but I do want to ask you your thoughts on Biden, Lisa. How do you feel like Biden is doing right now?
I worry for him. I worry for him. I, you know, it's, and as you know, I'm, and I don't know if you remember, but I'm my independent, you know, and I became independent from being Democratic because I got tired of the argument of what are you? I
Yeah.
look at myself as an American first. You
Hmm.
matter as much as I do, but we matter all together as a collective. It is not more than one that should be able to have. It's not saying that we're all going to have the same, but it's still, we all deserve a chance at a good life, you know.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, where Biden is now, what he's facing that we didn't see and that I'm starting to see is that, you know, we thought we had that, oh yeah, when we get the 51, but
All right.
Joe Manchin, and there's somebody else I'm just learning about right now that are kind of, you know, he's more kind of almost Republican than he is Democratic, but I'm not trying to take that away from him. You know, I think he
Hmm.
may have some ideals that match, but I think it's not as simple. And I kind of knew that already once we got Biden. Biden's one thing, but we still need more majority of um, you know, Democratic people, or at least I'll say this because I'm not on neither side. I just care that we get the right people that will actually get things done, not for the cameras,
Yeah, they want
but
to do the
for
right
the
thing.
people. You know, I'm watching and I'm thinking about y'all out there in the freezing cold with what you guys
Hmm.
had to just go through. And it,
Yep.
you know, if you're just basing your vote on just party and not what the person is actually going to do in your best interest, then that person does not belong in office.
Absolutely. And people need to, I think people need to wise up and be smart about who they vote for because there's a lot of people in office that are just there for the
It's not
money
just
or
Democratic.
fame and they're not really doing just, you have to be bold enough. There's a couple of people I think, I can't think of the lady's name, but she's the one that was going against the whole election thing. I can't think of her name. I think she's
Bobert, there's the other one is there's
she's
well,
in,
there's a couple of them.
so
The
one.
one with the blonde hair,
Yeah, I think her and then Romney. I like
Green, Marjorie Taylor
no,
Green.
no, not her. Somebody that
No,
one of them that was actually speaking up against the whole election fraud stuff as a Republican. I can't think of her name, but she's bold.
mm.
To be so bold as to go against your party for what's right is I
Lisa.
think
There's
yeah,
Lisa. There's Cheney. Cheney's.
Cheney's who I'm thinking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that we need more of that. Like these people are willing to sacrifice their careers, which is stupid that you're sacrificing your career to speak up for what's
do the
right
right thing. Right.
rather than having to just go along with the party. And it goes even deeper than what we see. Like anything that they do on either side, they have these like caucuses. Like if you go against the caucus, the moderate caucus or the Republican, when they have a bill, they tell them what they expect them to do. Like you don't really have a voice as an individual
Right.
congressperson. You really got to do what the caucus and then what the party and then what the speaker tells you to do and what the president tells you to do if he's in
Mhm.
the same party. So it's like it's a broken system. Hopefully it'll get fixed at some point, but I don't see it happening in my lifetime.
They'll have to be an independent, like voted
It's
in somehow.
Yeah, we all have to do our part. We started it. And
Yeah.
I was saying this in the chats. We started it. We are not done. We have to continue the vote. They saw our power. They're afraid of it. And now you're seeing them work hard to make it even harder to vote.
Right.
Because if they had nothing to worry about in our vote and in the power of that it carries to be able to stand and have your voice be counted, then they wouldn't work as hard as they are to try to stop it.
That's true.
So that's why we want to continue with removing, purging, and by purging safely through our votes to remove all of the cancerous tissue. You know, when someone's going through chemo and whatnot, they don't just go in for part, they go in to get the whole cancer. And there are some little cells that are still left in our Senate and definitely in our House that are not in the best interest. They need to follow the direction of the 10 that voted to impeach in this case. They need to follow that and understand that when you come into office, have the right to have your own brain, to think for yourself and not have to worry about what your job is, because your job is to serve America. It is not to serve the party. That is what dictators and totalitarianism and all those kind of groups are about. That's not us.
And I used to think that we needed to let the older folks just kind of die off, but we got a lot of young idiots too. A lot of young dummies in the Senate and the House as well.
Because they're being raised by the older folks.
Absolutely. But so that's our show. We went. We had a chance to touch on a few different things. This is the finale, by the way. So for a political short, not sure when we're coming back. So anybody that's watching that watches this show as a regular, Monday nights and Sunday nights. The lady you see right there on the right, Devin, she's the moderator for Ladies POV. Basically, very similar to our other political shows. They talk about all things politics, and it's an amazing show. And then Brenton runs Monday nights, TFG Tonight. Same thing. You check both of those out. And then Tuesdays we have Be the People as well. So those gentlemen. So we have lots of live shows for you guys to join. And until this one, this one might not be coming back, and to be honest with y'all. So y'all check those out.
I'm glad to be a part of the last one.
I'm just saying, I'll have a date. I'll say that. We definitely appreciate y'all for watching. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to being a guest on some other shows on the TFG network, such as Ladies POV and the other ones. So thank you, Lisa B. Thank you, Devin.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
I think we are done here.
Okay.
Miss Producer, take us out of here. Oh, you said final thoughts, but ain't no final thoughts. I just did.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Y'all be good. Be blessed.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Hold on. What theme music is?